Now, if you've watched our previous video, I will link it above. You already have Java environment set up. You've got the JDK installed and your IDE ready to go. If you haven't done that, then I'll encourage you to go and watch that video first and come back. I'll wait for you. However, if you have installed Java and the IDE and the Java JDK already, then let's create our first file. So here I've opened the IntelliJ IDE, and what am I going to do? So I'm going to create a new file and call it Hello World with a capital H and a capital W. So we are naming it Hello World, as I said, with a capital H and a capital W. And so we've created our file, which is Hello World. And now I will explain why the Hello World is. We have a capital H and a capital W very soon. However, you can see from here that the class name, instead of it being Hello World, is what? Main. And that is the default template that IntelliJ IDE will give you. So what we are going to do is that we are going to change the main here. Always this one should be the same as this one, else your program will not run. So we are going to change this one so that you will be able to also change it. So what we do, we right click it and then we click on rename and we change it from main to Hello World. Alright, and then what? We click on refactor. Alright, so now that that is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear everything here so that we start from scratch and we get to understand it. So we are going to type what we have here, public class Hello World. Then I will explain every line of code here, so give me a minute. Then we have our system.out.println, then our Hello World. Then we complete it to wait for our semicolon. Then we save it. Alright, that's your first Java program. But we are not done. Let me break down the line one by one, each line, every word here, what it means. And this is the most important part. This is our first line. This one, the highlighted one, which is public class Hello World. Here, Java is what we call an object-oriented language. Every Java lives inside something called a class. And you can think of a class as sort of a container, a box that holds your code. So class, this keyword, the class, tells Java that, hey, I'm defining a class. And the Hello World, that's the name we gave to our class. This is why your file name has to be hello world.java. The file name must match exactly the class name, including capital letters. Java is case sensitive, very strict of how you label you write the words that you put on. And the public means that this class is accessible from anywhere, and we will talk about this concept later on in the series. And the curly braces, the opening curly brace means that everything belongs to this class starts here. Everything that belongs to this class starts here. And then we move on to the public static void, main, and then some words here. This line, our second line. This is the most important line in any Java program at all. This is the main method. It is the entry point. So every Java program you've seen in this world, whether you're banking app, all the big programming apps that you have, has this main method. It is the entry point. When you run your Java program, this is the first thing Java looks for. If this line doesn't exist, Java will say, I don't know where to start. I refuse to run. So your Java program will refuse to run. A public, as the same as before, means that it is accessible from anywhere. Then we come to the second word, which is of static. The static means that this method belongs to the class itself. It is part of the class, not an object of that class. And also when it comes to objects, we will explain it later. And so just believe that it has the right to be here. And the void means that it returns nothing. It does what it does, and then it finishes. It goes its way. So that's what the main for you. And then we come here, and the main, as we said, this is a special name Java looks for when it's what? It's running any Java program. And then we move on to what's in the parentheses. This is where you can pass in input from outside when running the program. For now, we are not using it, but it has to be there. And the opening curly braces, this one, everything inside belongs to this method. Everything inside this curly brace means that it belongs to this method. Or as in some programming languages, if you are familiar, we call it what? Function. And then we come to what? Our third line. System.out.println, then the hello world. What does this system mean? A built-in system is a built-in Java class that gives us access to the system, that's your computer. The out is the output stream, basically where things get printed. And the print line or the println is a short for print line. It prints whatever is inside the parentheses and moves to the new line. And so we have what? This one here. Then the hello world is the text that we want to print. And you should take notice that the text is what? In quotes. Any text in Java needs to be wrapped in double quote. Then we end it with what? Semicolon. So the semicolon, it's like writing a full stop or a period in English or any language that we have. So yeah, it's telling the Java that we have made a complete statement. And this closing brace also signifies that the method has come to an end, and the line 5 here means that the class has ended. So now that we know all these things, what do we do now? The next thing for us to do is what? To run our Java program and see if the output will be what we expect. That is the hello world. So let's click here, or you can use the keyboard shortcut Control F5. So there you have it, our hello world here. It's printed here nicely. So our program has run. Now let me take you to some of the common mistakes that we beginners tend to make. One of the common mistakes is that when we are naming our class names, the file name, that is your hello world.java, should have the exact wording and letters, whether capital letters or everything should be exactly the same. So for example, you can't have hello world.java. This is wrong. Why? Because this name is different from this name, and so your program will not run. That's one of the biggest mistakes that we make, beginners make. And one thing that we also make is that we remove what? The semicolon. When you remove the semicolon, your program will give you errors. So always ensure. You can see the red squiggly line here prompting us that there is something wrong with our code. We should always end our code with what? A semicolon. So that is also the second mistakes that we beginners tend to make. Then the wrong quote. If you decide to use a single quote, that would also give us what? An error, because Java demands what? Double quotations. So you can't use what? Single quote. So always remember to use what? Double quote. The fourth mistake we make is what? Misspelling keywords. So instead of writing public class, which are small, as a small p, you write public with a capital P. When you do that, it will also give you what? An error. So always ensure that your keywords are spelled what? Properly. We have been able to program or written our first Java program. And what the file did was that the machine did was what? It compiled it into a bytecode and I'm running it on a Linux, a Ubuntu Linux machine. So the bytecode, since I have the JDK installed already from the previous video, I was able to run it. And the main method, which is what the entry point for our program, also printed out what system.out.println what the text, which was what our hello world. So every statement also ends with what a semicolon. And also know that the file name should always match what the class name, always. This is your very first Java program, and you understand every line and why it is there. So in the next video, we are going to talk about Java variables and data types, how to store information in your programs. Why? Because right now, our program just prints one thing. Variables let you start making programs that actually do stuff. If this helped you, drop a like. It genuinely helps this channel to grow. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. Let's keep building.